Yeah, I want to talk about this 4 blood moons that's coming up. I'm going to give it to you real basic because you can read too much into things. And I had to consult my partner here, Putin the cat. He's a cat, man. He's smart. He knows cats know what's going on, man. Especially when you're talking about blood moons, right, buddy? He knows. Anyway, he's got a weird way of signaling. He tells me through his whiskers. I don't know. Anyway, but there wasn't too many times they had this tetrad, and there's like some kind of technical thing about it when you have 4 blood moons in a row, and there's nothing in between it that's special or something. But this was they had one in 49 and 50, between 49 and 50, the tetrad, 4 blood moons. They had it 67 in 1968. Now it's supposed to be 2014 and 2015. The first one's going to be in April of 2014. Now, this may be a little bit, maybe it is conspiratorial. I don't know. It just something doesn't. I got my antennas out on this one. Okay, that's really what it is. But it basically the war for independence for Israel was 47 and 49. The Arab-Israeli conflict, and the blood moons was 49 and 50. So some say it's always like a significant event that's around the state of Israel. Now, the other time the blood moon was 67, 68. 6-Day War, 67, right? Now, this one is supposed to be 2014, 2015. I don't want to throw any drama out there, but I got a suspicion about this one. And I'm using my cat senses, basically. But I have a suspicion about this one. I think something's gonna happen. A couple years ago, actually in spring or late spring of 2012, Netanyahu actually was all set and poised to attack Iran, do a strike on Iran. But what I heard was the Israeli Mossad pulled him back. And they ain't doing that. But now that they're dropping the sanctions on Iran, or scaling them back a lot, and it's hard to say if that's exactly what's going to happen because there's people in Congress saying not to do it and stuff. But that could get Israel antsy enough to do a first strike on Iran. And, I said, just using common sense 101, once it gets around December, they, forget about it. It's not, the weather isn't right. They have to wait till about spring. So maybe it might be this spring. Maybe it'll be sometime, after the first blood moon or something like that. Because the last 2 times they had these 4 blood moons, there was a major conflict in the Middle East, and Israel, got, won out and knocked out its enemies and stuff. I know that's going to be popular, me saying that on YouTube, but there is stuff, the leadership in Iran is up to no good, too. I don't have nothing against the Iranian people, but the leadership in Iran is up to no good. That's my opinion on it anyway, all right? But I don't know what the deal is with Obama, man. It's freaking, either he gets accused of being in the hip pocket of Israel, or he gets accused of, not doing enough against Iran. But I don't really get the deal why they're backing off sanctions, because it looks like they made this deal a while ago, and I have no idea what the deal is. But I have been looking at it from this angle. If there's a strike in Iran, oh God, is oil going to fly up to the roof? That's what I'm going to sell, because it ain't going to stay up there forever, And it's going to put a major dampener on the economy. That's going to cause them to even do more QE. It's going to cause the United States to do more military spending. I don't know what the hell. I don't know where it's going to lead to, but it's going to be good for the precious metals and anybody in the energy sector. That's for sure. But it's not going to last forever. That's the other thing. It's usually when these people come out and there's something catastrophic happens. Oh my God, they make it sound like it's, the world is never going to come back to normal again. And they always do that. But I'm thinking about is tetrad. And it's really kind of, I don't know. I just don't want to throw it out there where it's total superstition. But between 2014 and 2015, the first blood moon is on April 2014, and the last one is September 2015. So, it may be that some conflict happens at that time. And, it starts in 2014. I don't want to say this for a fact because, when you're saying this beforehand, I really don't know. I don't have a future crystal ball. And I don't want to throw any kind of conspiracy stuff out there, but I got a suspicion about this deal because, it doesn't happen that often. And the last two times it happened, there was the war for independence for Israel, the Arab-Israeli conflict, and the 6-Day War. Those are the last two times it happened. Big events. So, if it happens, though, wow, you're probably going to see the price of retail gasoline going up to like $8 a gallon temporarily or some crazy amount like that, or well over 5 or 6 or something. I really don't know. But I do realize that any kind of conflict over there, like where it's directly associated with Iran, and if there's any problem with these Saudi refineries, wow, gasoline is going to go right through the roof right away, real quick. It could. I've got a suspicion about this, and that's, considering it, and considering that some are predicting a major financial collapse in September of 2015 due to this 4 blood moons and the tetrad. That's going to be the last one, and it's 7 years after. It's like a 7-year cycle. The last time we had this, the financial collapse was September 29th, 2008, and it's supposed to be September 20-something, around the 4th blood moon. I would think that the metals would be down by then again. I don't know, it's a guess, but, I'm smelling. If I see they go way the hell up over 50 due to a war with Iran, because the oil's going up, gold's going up, and all this stuff. And anybody who's a forecaster that's forecasting what the oil's going to do in 2014 or what gold's going to do and what silver's going to do, they're not forecasting war into the equation. See, that always throws all the calculations off. That always throws them off, totally, because it's an outside event. It's an unpredictable event. It's an event that's been predicted every year by, I keep thinking it's going to happen. I don't know. One of these days it's going to happen. What I'm kind of suspecting, is Israel said some stuff about, not backing off sanctions. They're going to do a first strike. Now they're not saying nothing. And it's usually when they're quiet and they already gave the warning. That might be it. I don't know. Coincides with the first blood moon. We shall see. It's really not that far off, though, when you think about it. It's only, maybe it's not going to happen right on the blood moon itself, but it might be in the spring sometime or early summer of this year where Israel does a first strike on Iran. And if that happens, gold, silver, oil, right through the roof. And this is one reason people ought to be storing up on stuff, because if there's a catastrophic problem or interruption of supplies on certain things, or prices of food go up due to, because a lot of the food costs are due to the trucking industry, right? There's a transportation cost, there's a, there's all the, see, growing food is a very energy intensive operation. It's almost like mining or something. It can really spike like crazy. And, I'm talking a little bit about this war stuff, but I'm also talking about it from an investment angle. And you know how the miners have been down so bad from the precious metals. And just to give you an example, the rare earth miners weren't doing nothing in 2010 for months and months and months and months. And all of a sudden, in the month of September 2010, most of them went up 5 to 10 times in a month. The stocks and the miners on the rare earth. I don't know if this is going to happen, but it's like it catches you by surprise and they just go up. That's what happens. So anyway, I just want to put this out here because This is coming up fairly soon. And what it means to you as an individual, actually taking, buying precious metals now at this price, it may turn out to be a very smart thing. It may. But, you shouldn't just be doing that. You should be getting your extra supplies in food and energy items, or maybe little solar panels or whatever the hell you need, because I remember the Arab oil embargo in '73 and the gas lines. They say that can't happen today, because of all the supplies of gasoline that they got in reserve. But in effect, it can happen by just raising the price. In other words, there could be, if gasoline could go to $5-6 a gallon very easily over a war, easy. There could be areas that it could be it could be 8 to 10, and it's going to be extremely unaffordable to people. So, I already got my stuff in line. I have economical cars, and I also have it's a low mileage. Well, I got it very low mileage. It was a government leftover vehicle. They don't even make them anymore. It was like the last year or so they made them. It's a dual fuel vehicle that uses natural gas and regular gasoline. Now, I always just put regular gasoline in it, but there's a new place that opened up not that far away that I can fill it up with natural gas for like, $2 a gallon. And, it uses up the natural gas, and when that runs out, it automatically goes to the regular gasoline. It's right. It's the General Motors factory car. It's not even a conversion. So, I've been thinking about this ahead of time, and also have the motorcycle and bicycles and everything else like that, because transportation is highly essential. But you will notice the price of goods go way the hell up, essential goods, if this happens. I don't know. I don't want to make a panic picture here, but it might. I'm kind of smelling this. And Netanyahu, and it's a fact, he almost attacked Iran in late spring of 2012. Almost did. The Mossad pulled him back. That's the word I got. Okay, there's a lot. But now, with this change, with the sanctions being backed off, and Iran, if you're going to be an idiot to figure out that, Iran is not freaking trying to get energy. They're trying to get nuclear weapons. They got more energy than anybody, and they don't have uranium even. They don't have thorium or uranium or nothing. They got oil and natural gas out the yin yang. They'd be the last people on this earth to run out of freaking natural gas and oil. So, they're not doing this to sort of for electricity, God. They're doing it for nuclear weapons. And once they get it going, and how the hell, they say the UN inspectors are looking at it. How the hell could the UN inspectors inspect every damn place there is? It's a big country. There's a lot of mountains. They could have tunneled something and did something someplace else. There's probably secret facilities all over the place, for all I know. They're trying to get bombs, and if they're trying to get bombs, I don't know. That's my opinion on it anyway, but I think something's coming up. I'm suspicious about this 4 blood moons thing. So, anyway, we'll find out. We'll see if my cat knows. He knows better. He's the one with all those instincts. The cat, Putin, the cat, he knows better. So if something happens, you can thank him for warning you at least. And, it's like I said, there's been 3 times this happened. It's going to be a 3rd time coming up. It was 1949 and 1950. Basically, the war for independence for Israel was 47 to 49. And the next time was 1967, 1968. That's when you had the 6-Day War. Now this time is 2014 and 2015. So, if it happens, I don't think it's going to last that long. God, if this happens, I know it's going to happen all over YouTube. The end of the world, Armageddon, World War III, you're going to hear all this stuff, and you know what's really going to happen? Iran's going to get their butts kicked, basically. That's what's going to happen. Because, you know, the United States is going to back up Israel, and Israel does it, and Israel's got a lot of force right there. And if there is something that happens later on, I think it's actually going to, you know, if you're going to talking about some major global conflict, I think it's actually going to start with, you know, aggression by China later on. It might be a little ways down the road, you know. God, I just can imagine if, you know, if this does happen here in the springtime, where Israel strikes Iran. Oh, YouTube is going to be lit with, oh, you name it, you name it. But it's going to be kind of like, you know, I don't want to say war is business as usual, but don't expect it to be the end of the world or something right away or something. It's going to have to be a lot more significant than that. It would have to be a country like China or Russia. It would have to be. It wouldn't be over, you know, a war in the Middle East. That's not the end of the world. No way. So when it happens, I know people are going to hit the panic button. I'm assuming it's going to happen. I think it is. I'm sticking my neck out saying this because I could be flat out wrong, but I got a suspicion. Yeah, and little Rocky's got a suspicion too. You could tell you he's kind of serious about this stuff. He's always got a serious look on his face, but he's always thinking and watching out from the other angles.